Plyometric training is defined as enabling a muscle to reach maximum strength in the shortest possible time. This speed-strength ability is also known as power. The muscle and connective tissues go through a rapid eccentric action, then is immediately followed by a concentric action, which are separated by an amortization phase. This process is also known as the stretch-shortening cycle, and there are two theories as to why the stretch-shortening cycle can produce optimal power. Firstly, the most commonly cited theory is when the tendons and connective tissues stretch and store elastic energy, which is then produced during the following concentric action. Secondly is called the stretch reflex. Overall, this results in better rate coding or muscle fiber recruitment. The following clips are showing different scenarios where hip rotation is used in mixed martial art fighting. Explosive and dynamic exercises through the hips are pivotal to the type of movements that are performed in a mixed martial art fight. For example, if an athlete is pressed up against the cage, this is the torque and the ability to pop the hips and get away from the opponent. Same thing goes for athletes situated on the ground. Explosive hip rotation can allow the athlete to explode and turn and maybe create a window of opportunity to either escape or go on the attack. Furthermore, a great hip development is vital to score an explosive takedown in a wrestling situation. The next portion of this video will show 4 plyometric exercises for hip rotation. These exercises have been specifically designed to progress with a harder intensity and will include key coaching points throughout. The first exercise involves a counter movement jump with 90-degree turn and a stabilization landing phase. The two main aims are to check if the athlete can generate explosive power through the hips and land safely and efficiently. The starting position should have the feet shoulder width apart. The eccentric phase includes a quick dip with the glutes, legs and arms to generate the force. The athlete should be aware that the center of mass is now over the base of support. Land softly and stably in a squat position with the hips just above the knees. First progression is increasing the intensity by adding another jump with an amortization phase. The amortization phase is perhaps the most crucial in production of power and must be kept at a minimum. If the phase lasts too long, the energy stored during the eccentric phase dissipates, thereby negating the plyometric effect. Starting and landing mechanics for this exercise are exactly the same as the first one. The next exercise is sport specific, and this is because the starting position has hands clamped together to replicate a wrestling or grappling situation. The exercise is also increased intensity by including a box jump. The hand position reduces upper body momentum and allows the lower body to produce the majority of force during the eccentric phase. During both landing phases, there needs to be a good alignment of the ankle, knee and hip. This is because a majority of injuries on the lower extremities tend to be associated with bad landing mechanics. The last progression involves augmented eccentric loading and should only be applied if technique is at an elite standard. The most common way to apply AEL is by including depth jumps. By dropping from a box, the mass of the body is allowed longer time to accelerate, and thus a greater impulse is needed to change direction of the center of mass of the body upon contact with the ground. Athletes need to stand on the box with toes close to the edge, feet shoulder width apart. The hands need to be accompanied with a set of dumbbells or kettlebells and positioned next to the hips. On landing, the apparatus in the hands need to be released at the bottom range of motion. This allows the concentric portion to be only loaded with body mass. Safety must be addressed so that implements do not interfere with jumping or landing. It's important to note that before attempting any plyometric program, the athlete needs to be physically prepared. This page highlights 3 generic testing procedures that an athlete should undertake before starting a plyometric program. To create an MMA champion, it is crucial athletes are aware of the 3 training variables that manipulate a plyometric program. This page highlights factors that affect the frequency, intensity, and volume of a plyometric program. Finally, an MMA fighter can use plyometric training throughout the whole annual plan. For example, plyometrics can be used in a general preparation stage after a max strength phase. This is called conversion to power. However, as stated on the previous page, plyometrics can be interlinked with maximum strength via complex training. Furthermore, researchers identified plyometrics to benefit attributes such as speed, endurance, agility, and injuries, therefore proposing the versatility of plyometrics to fit wherever the athlete needs to improve.